Day, where Julian Assange's long standoff with international authorities is finally over. This is Julian Assange. He is 47. British police removed the WikiLeaks founder from Ecuador's embassy this morning. Clearly, he did not want to go. He's been inside since August 2012, hiding from a UK arrest warrant.
Assange's lawyer says the arrest follows a U.S. extradition request. WikiLeaks says Ecuador's decision to allow police to arrest Assange violated international laws. Imtiaz Tayeb is outside the embassy in London. Imtiaz, good morning.
Well, a very dramatic scene here outside of the Ecuadorian embassy. Really the end of a 7-year standoff between Assange and British authorities who quickly swept in and took him into custody after the diplomatic protection that he was receiving from the Ecuadorian authorities was revoked. Here's how it all unfolded. Heavily bearded and handcuffs, the WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy by British police, shouting, "The UK must resist." His arrest is 7 years in the making. The 47-year-old had been wanted by British police since 2012, when he skipped bail and sought asylum at the embassy to escape extradition to Sweden on accusations of rape and sexual assault. Swedish prosecutors dropped their investigations, but the WikiLeaks founder told his supporters from the embassy balcony that he still couldn't risk leaving.
The war, the proper war, is just commencing. The UK has said it will arrest me regardless.
And that's exactly what happened. His fear now, as then, is that the U.S. government will request his extradition on charges of espionage. WikiLeaks has provoked the U.S. government for more than a decade, leaking troves of classified documents and videos online. In the 2016 presidential campaign came more leaks, thousands of emails hacked from prominent Democrats. U.S. intelligence agencies later concluded Russia had delivered the data to WikiLeaks in an effort to discredit Hillary Clinton, a charge Assange has denied. But in 2017, he said his self-imposed exile has been challenging.
And almost 5 years here in this embassy without sunlight. 7 years without charge. Why my children grew up without them.
The UK's Home Secretary Sajid Javid has confirmed that Assange is in police custody and that he will be in front of a judge very soon, adding, and I quote, "No one is above the law." Gail.
That certainly seems to be the case today. I still can't get over those pictures. MTS.
Seen this in Wikipedia, that there's actually a movement called gay conservatism. How is it possible for the LGBT and now Q to be conservative? Do you see what's going on, folks? The Bible says they change the truth into a lie. Men with men, women with women, doing that which is unseemly. Right? LGBT conservatism refers to a socio-political movement which embraces and promotes the ideology of conservatism within an LGBT, gay or lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender context. Gay conservatives may also refer to lesbian or gay persons with socially and economically conservative political views. The number of openly LGBT advocates for conservative policies has only become increasingly apparent since the advent of the modern LGBT civil rights movement in the 1970s. While many more LGBT conservatives remain closeted in countries where other social conservative politicians have led the most organized opposition to the LGBT rights efforts, as well as the backlash from the liberal and left-leaning LGBT social activists. The situation and ideology for LGBT conservatives varies by each country's social and political LGBT rights climate. Now, the thing I want to mention, and this is just a short, very brief message I want to put up, is that I heard an upcoming supposedly conservative speaker, I guess you'd say. I'm not sure what he is at this point. He's kind of young. Chandler, I guess his name is. Chandler or Chandler. And I heard him say that the conservative movement needs to allow the LGBTQ conservatism to speak at the CPAC. I heard my own ears. And I heard Right Side Broadcasting saying that this guy was the future of the CPAC movement. So, do you see where the country's headed? Do you see what's going on? I've been telling you how that, Thiel stood there and was praised at a Trump rally where Donald Trump's children stood up and gave a standing ovation for a well-known, outwardly homosexual that says he's proud to be gay. And Sodom and Gomorrah, people. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. Jesus says, as it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. You don't see any churches today.
Now, folks, I want to end this right here because this video is not necessarily about what Brother Skinner is talking about. But how many of you know, and if you don't believe me on this, go to my YouTube deception videos, which are very near to this because they've been newly made. I can't even make a comment to Brother Skinner on YouTube without it looking like that I made a comment and he didn't receive it and it's not online. What do these people got to hide, folks? Now, my point right here has nothing to do with the subject that is at hand here with Brother Skinner. What my point has to do is this. Brother Skinner can't understand why that the meaning, the original meaning in Wikipedia has been changed. He's deciphering why have they changed the reality of what is in the text. But there's a deeper meaning behind it that I don't think Brother Skinner's getting. He's just simply thinking, well, this is them doing this and they're trying to change our reality and everything else, which they are. But this all connects in. This Wikipedia all connects in with the WikiLeaks thing, and it all connects in with Julian Assange, okay? So, give me just a moment, and, well, I'm going to pause this a moment, and I'm going to show you another video here. Now, I want to show you a piece of my video that I had. This is the third video that I ever made that's on my playlist, and I would strongly urge you to go to it and look at it because it shows and reveals a lot of things about what's going on right now. But I'm going to show you a piece of it and how I call this whole thing out for not being a reality, guys, okay? So a piece of that video is going to go up. It's entitled, "This is Great, Man. This is Killer Seeing the People of Israel Get What They Deserve and the God of the Earth." Okay, that's what it's called if you want to go see it. But I'm going to show you a piece of it here. Now, let's go.
I had a problem right here, guys. I tried to get you guys a copy for this of the 12 tribes of Israel out of Revelations because I was just interested in stuff. And right there it is. In 12 tribes, Revelations. And when we go over here no matter how I punch this in, this is 12 tribes of Israel in Revelations, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. This is not right. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulon, Joseph, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. That's not right. That is not what the King James Bible, the old version of the Bible, which is the original English translation from Hebrew, that is not what that says. It's not. It is not what that says. So I tried punching it in about 10 different ways. And I got it this way every time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I smell a serpent here. I smell a deceiver. This is not right. To change the law of God, I smell a deceiver. You don't do that, people. The law is the law, and the law is the Bible. And there's one way to it. That's it. Just like these meanings, there's only one way. This is not right. There has been a serpent at work here. Maybe it was that serpent we first seen when we come into this. I don't know. But you can see it again there. This is not correct. There's a serpent at work. And so I finally had to go to my Bible and get it. That's what I had to do. Finally had to go. And there in Exodus, that is the correct in the Old Testament. But it is not in the New Testament. That is not what that says. I smell a deceiver. Smell a deceiver, folks. Right there. It's not the same listing. So why did it do that to me? That makes no sense. Now, I'm going to tell you what Jesus has to say about that, folks. Here's what he has to say. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth in not by the door of the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in by the door by the shepherd of the sheep, to him the porter I openeth. That's what he has to say about that, guys. You can't be entering any other way but by the door. That's it. There is no other way but Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, Thessalonians, when they asked him, what, Jesus, were you going to do? You know, what will be the sign of thy coming in the end right here? And the very first thing he said, guys, let no man deceive you by no means, for that day shall not come, except there come away a falling first. But listen to what he had to say when the disciples asked him, what will be the sign of your coming? Listen, let no man deceive you. That's the first thing he said. Okay? The first thing is the priority. All right, now on this therapeutics, this I don't understand this either. If you take a look, no matter what I've done, it just wouldn't take it. Look, it must include putics. Well, idiot, it does include putics. Putics, definition in the dictionary even. I didn't even go Greek. It still won't do it. In 2 or 3 places, and then when it does, it's spelled differently than that. There's a deceiver there, folks. Now, it's... See it again right here. I tried to go to German, Alamatic German, Swiss German. I tried to go to the definitions right here, the different variances of Germans. And it didn't take. Didn't take, guys. So, well, the tribe of Dan was, they were the judges of Israel. And what we were talking about there earlier, the judges, well, they were the ones that handed Jesus over to Pontius Pilate to have him killed. So, that's who they were. They were the Pharisees. Masters of the dialectic. I don't know.
Now, how many of you know, and I don't know if you know this, but they never mentioned when they were doing all this with Julian Assange and this WikiLeaks, and they were accusing him of child molestation, they were accusing him of this, they were accusing him of espionage, they were accusing him of many, many things, folks. Okay? But how many of you know that Julian Assange, he is the founder and the mastermind and the brain behind Wikipedia? And I'm going to tell you this, guys. When Julian Assange, when he was out here and he was standing good for the product that he had behind him, in terms of these meanings and stuff in the encyclopedias that he had and so forth, all of these meanings were correct. Now, I want to tell you what I do whenever that I convert things over to Greek. What I do is I refer to the paperback books that I have from years ago, because I know what these people are up to, okay? And I've known it for a long time. Do you want me to tell you what's going on here, folks? Julian Assange, they came to him. These people that's bringing this new world, ORDER in here, you know what I'm talking about. They came to him and they said, we're going to change what's in your books. We're going to begin changing these things. And we want you to go along with it. And he wouldn't do it, guys. He said, no. Let the truth and let reality and let the actual meaning and terminology that I have in my stuff stand for the truth and what it is. And so guess what they did to him? They slandered him. They called him a child molester. They said that he did this. They said that he did that. They said that he was involved in espionage. That's typical, folks. It's typical. It is. These people absolutely positively slandered an honest man. That's what's went on here. The other day when this video come out that you seen that Brother Skinner had, that he was talking about the reality of what was in Wikipedia had been changed, I actually tried to send him a message and tell Brother Skinner what I thought about this. And YouTube wouldn't let me send the message. They refused. They made it look like on my screen like it had been sent. But on the main drive screen, it never existed. I went to my old channel and tried to find my comments from my new channel. They weren't there. What are they hiding, folks? What are they hiding? Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, Jerry, this is what they said about Julian Assange, and that's what they said about Julian Assange, and they said he was guilty of this and that. I don't care what they said, people. I know the truth about what has happened here. Let me tell you something, guys. Every martyr of Jesus, all 12 disciples except for John, which was marooned on the island of Patmos, Jesus Christ, all 12 of his disciples, Paul, which Paul was very badly persecuted, but he wasn't killed in the end. He was allowed to teach until his end. But he was persecuted badly. All of the Old Testament martyrs of Jesus, like Elijah, all of them people, seen it very, very, very rough with the governments that was at hand. And I'm sure the people of the land thought they were doing the right thing, because people always trust government, folks. And government never, ever does the right thing for the people. I promise you, it doesn't matter what government we're talking about. It's none of them. Do you realize that you're going to be persecuted as a martyr of Jesus, as a man that stands up for the truth? And let me tell you something, folks. That is why this man is in jail for the rest of his life. Because he refused. He refused to take the truth and alter it and turn it into a lie. This man right here, in my opinion, is a true martyr of the Lord thy God, and a true martyr of Jesus. And that's why he's in jail like he is. Oh, I'm sure they'll end up doing me that way eventually before it's all said and done. I've already been cast into prison for no reason whatsoever several times. No reason. They wouldn't even give me a reason. Last time they held me there 9 or 10 months and then threw me out in the street after I lost everything I had, and they said, there, yes, so be. Try that again. Just because I get on YouTube and because I get on platforms and tell the truth, folks. Well, that's the same thing that happened right here. with Julian Assange. He said, I'm not changing the reality that's in my Wikipedia. I am not doing it. And so he hid out. He stood all that he could. Then finally they just broke every law that there was, every single law there was, and went and got him anyway. Everything. They violated everything and just went and got him anyway. He may not even be alive now. But I want you to know the truth. And the truth is, this man is not a criminal. This man is a true martyr of the Lord. But guess what? Now that he's out of the way, they've took his entire Wikipedia and they're starting to change the truth. You don't believe me? You get on there and you do the 12 tribes of Israel. In Exodus, it has Dan in it. Doesn't have Dan in it in Revelations, guys. But you can try to get that Wikipedia to tell you that now. You know, Brother Skinner, he couldn't figure out why that reality had been altered right there. He just figured that, you know, hey, they're just telling a lie. But there's a deeper story to be told about this, guys. This man right here would not change. He would not corrupt the original text that had been put there. He would not corrupt the reality, the logical terminology of these words. He would not corrupt them that had been established by higher and superior minds like Hippocrates and Socrates and Aristotle and some of the higher minds that fits the profile of reality in the day that we live in. He said, I'm not doing it. And so they done him in. That's what the truth is here, guys. This man is a true martyr of Jesus. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't change reality for them. So that just goes to show you people how deep that the dishonesty goes. If you see this video, you're lucky, because hardly anybody sees my videos. I have great videos all the time that reveals the truth, and nobody ever sees them. This is the truth, folks. This is a true martyr of the Lord right here. Cast into prison for doing the right thing. I promise you. Did you ever notice that whenever somebody's guilty, they'll come out of the courtroom or whatever, and they'll take a black rag or something, they'll hold it over top of their head, and they'll keep themselves out of sight, you know, like they're hiding their face whenever they're marching them off to the car or whatever, because they're hiding their face in shame. Did you see this man hide his face in shame? He was willing to get on camera. But guess what, folks? He couldn't tell you the truth because they audited it and just showed you what they wanted to show you. He would have told you what was going on. He probably did. But they wouldn't show it on TV. That's your television screen for you people. It's nothing but propaganda. A lot of the stuff you see on YouTube is nothing but propaganda. It's all lies. Dishonest people, folks. And their time's coming. I promise you. There is a day of the Lord coming, people, that there's going to be reckoning to pay for this. For doing people who tried to do the right thing, doing them this way. Thank you for watching my video.